So I'm live streaming now. I'm starting this off at Kingston Road and Elmer Avenue. I'm going to be walking my way westbound along Kingston Road, at least for a little bit, maybe Eastern Avenue. I'm going to be checking for some signal timing upgrades along Lakeshore as well. So first I'll be crossing Kingston Road to the south side, then we'll be resuming from there. These signals operate as semi-actuated. Sorry, what did that chat say? How do I bring that back? Sorry guys, I didn't do live streaming enough to okay, another amazing question by Jackson. Thank you. NKISIL listeners. I don't know how to pronounce it, my apologies. So yeah, I want to see the signals go back to walk first. It's not letting me zoom in. Oh, it just went back to walk. Okay, good. Okay, now it's letting me zoom in, but it's too late. I wanted to get a video of the signals going back to walk before I cross. Well, I'm actually going to be doing it from the opposite angle, so it's easier to see first. Cycle length here on weekends at this intersection is 84 seconds, as far as I know. At least when I last used my stopwatch. I believe Woodbine and Kingston Road is also 84 second cycle lengths, and if that's the case, it's easier for them to be coordinated along with those intersections. So one thing I really don't like here is that they recently added a counterproductive leading pedestrian interval for westbound and pretty much useless for eastbound. I support it for northbound because people have to turn, but here, as you can see, there's no left turn from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays. I know that today's Sunday, so it doesn't apply, but even then, there's barely anyone there's hardly ever people that turn. Most people don't turn right, as you can see. We do have someone turning left right now, but usually they're not first in line to do that. All right, let's see. I want to see it go back to walk first before we go. There, it goes back to walk. That's because there's no vehicle call on the detector and that there's nobody that's wanting to cross. All right, now we'll continue going westbound. they installed a few new traffic signals on the route I'm planning to walk along. During this live stream, if I continue my route as planned, Kingston Road, Eastern Avenue, there will be a couple new pedestrian signals. The first one of them is going to be intersection pedestrian signals. Another one is going to be mid-block pedestrian signals. And then further along Eastern Avenue, they installed new traffic signals at, I think it's Booth Avenue, just 2 intersections away from where I requested new traffic signals, but the city declined. But then they installed new traffic signals just 2 closely spaced intersections away. So I'm going to be checking to see on those. I saw how they were timed last time though at Booth and Eastern Avenue though. And then I'm going to be checking to see if there's any updates with the new traffic signals at Lakeshore. I hear that they're starting to install the permanent signals. They're not active yet though at Lakeshore and Booth. I enjoy your live streams. Thank you so much. I didn't know you like it that much, but I'm glad to hear. I don't usually have time to live stream anymore, but I try to if I can. See if there's any traffic turning. No, I think it's clear. Alright, so now we're at Kingston Road and Woodbine Avenue. They have leading pedestrian intervals for northbound and southbound. And on weekdays there's no left turn from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. for both directions, northbound and southbound. They do have dedicated right turn lanes in both directions on Woodbine at least. It would make sense for leading intervals here too, because there's dedicated right turn lanes. And speaking of right turns, we have a right turn overlap with the westbound protected permissive left turn. Not sure why that driver is stopping. He has a green arrow for right turns. Common Toronto behavior. Okay, is that guy gonna stop? Yes, he is. Okay, good. The leading left turn green arrow here is 8 seconds for green interval time. Last time I used my stopwatch outside of rush hour, it was 8 seconds. I wasn't really counting for just now, but I'm sure the live stream timer will capture that. There's a 503 replacement bus, the Orion 7 bus model. I've been taking the 503 replacement bus a lot lately because whenever I go downtown, I usually try to avoid going there by car. Alright, so just on the next curve, you'll see those new intersection pedestrian signals. I released a video of them earlier this winter, but in case any of you haven't seen the video yet, you'll get to see it on this live stream. And actually, someone's actually crossing at those intersection pedestrian signals. Now, these intersection pedestrian signals are coordinated, but there's a catch. The cycle length is actually half the cycle length of all the other intersections nearby. So, for example, the other intersections nearby are 84 seconds. So the cycle length at these intersection signals are 42 seconds. Cross traffic has a stop sign here. It's just for pedestrians to cross Kingston Road. They use Fortrans and plumb visors for these signals. Except for the auxiliary westbound signal, it looks like a mounting bracket. Let's see, is that person going to cross? Nope, she doesn't want to cross. I'm going to stay on this side. I'm not going to cross at these signals because there's a little less people on this side, so it'll be a little less crowded. But if you guys want, I don't know how long it's going to take for someone else to want to cross here, but I would like to get a video of the signals changing, but I'm going to stay on this side though, for now. Looks like there's a couple of pedestrians, one here, one from Columbine Avenue. We might be lucky enough if we see them crossing. Or maybe, no, actually there's only one. There's none from Columbine. Maybe we'll get to see those signals here change. I don't know, we're gonna need to have someone else cross. So is he gonna cross? Nope, he doesn't want to cross. Oh well. Well, I already have a video of the signals anyway, so I'll just keep going. Visible on Google Maps, the signals at the intersection you were just at, the signals for eastbound and southbound used to be 12 at 8 Econ Light Fortran. Are you referring to Kingston Road and Woodbine Avenue or Columbine Avenue where I am right now? I do remember before 2014 there were 1288s at Woodbine and Kingston Road. The primary signal was a Fortran 1288 and the secondary signal was a 1288 Econolite. Except for westbound. Westbound always remained as is. Fortrans 4 section and 3 section, all 12s. These signals were installed just a few months ago at Columbine here at Kingston Road. Someone else might be approaching the signals, actually. Can't see from this angle, but oh, okay, someone is gonna cross. Let's see those signals active. So there's the walk signal. The countdown is 13 seconds. And I believe there was a 3-second all red when the countdown hit 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a 3-second all red. Awesome, we get to see the signals active. Alright, now let's continue walking westbound for real this time. By the way, at these intersection pedestrian signals at Columbine, which there's another pedestrian call, the maximum wait time you'll have at this time of day is the absolute maximum time it'll take to change is 42 seconds. The cycle length is 42 seconds, so depending on what time in the cycle you push the button, you'll have a wait time anywhere between 0 and 42 seconds. It's kind of luck based depending when you arrive. There's no bus. And during rush hour, I don't know for sure the cycle length. I think it's 90 seconds during rush hour, which means the cycle length at the mid-block signals would be 45 seconds, with all the other signals being 90 seconds. So now we're coming to Kingston Road and Dundas Street East. And actually this is where Dundas Street ends. It becomes Dixon Avenue for a few residential roadway intersections, then it ends at Woodbine Avenue. If you were to turn right here onto Dundas Street, the same road, it'll take you all the way to like Hamilton, maybe even like farther probably. So there's a leading pedestrian interval here. Motor vehicles can only turn towards that direction. Lots of people turn right going westbound though. Not a lot turn left going eastbound though. So all directions have a leading pedestrian interval at this intersection. The cycle length is 84 seconds. Where's this? Right now I'm at Kingston Road and Dundas Street East, where it becomes Dixon Avenue. And I believe, I don't know for sure, I think Dundas Street is actually favored more than Kingston Road, except during the morning rush hour period. Lots of people turn left eastbound though. Yeah, I think Dundas gets a little more green time here. I mean, volumes for Dundas are not bad right now on weekends, but during rush hour, it can be bad. I actually requested for an eastbound leading left turn green arrow for the rush hour periods only. In the morning, there's not a lot of green time for Dundas because Kingston Road is really favored. Plus, in the morning, there was actually not enough sufficient gaps to turn left, believe it or not, for eastbound. So I requested it for the morning rush hour period, an eastbound protected left. For the afternoon rush hour period, there's usually lots of safe gaps to turn, but the green light is so long for Dundas in the afternoon that it allows plenty of time for an extendable protected left. So now we're coming to Kingston Road and Queen Street. This is where Kingston Road turns into Eastern Avenue. They installed leading pedestrian intervals for northbound and southbound, which I'm not really that pleased with at all, because they have dedicated turn lanes that they could use for leading through interval and for right turn overlap for eastbound and westbound's protected permissive lefts. Alright, sorry everyone, I lost connection during this live stream. No one's there yet. Alright, okay, sorry, someone's back. Okay, sorry about what happened. I lost connection with the internet. It said reconnecting, so I had to restart my phone. By the way, if the stream ends abruptly, then it's because I lost connection. It's nothing to do with me trying to end the stream. So I'm at Kingston Road and Queen Street. This is also where Kingston Road becomes Eastern Avenue. I'm going to be continuing south. I'm going to be taking the next light, the next walk signal, that is. For traffic signal phasing, eastbound and westbound have leading protected permissive left turns installed. For westbound, the green arrow is active at all times, 24/7. For eastbound, the green arrow is only active during rush hour, or if there's a TTC vehicle turning left. If any of the two are true. So since it's Sunday, the eastbound green arrow will only come on if there's a TTC bus or streetcar turning left. So I'm going to be taking the next light. And then for northbound and southbounds, we have a leading pedestrian interval. In which I really think it should be a leading through interval, because first off, there's no left turn anytime for northbound and southbound, and then northbound has its own dedicated right turn lane. And look at, oh, that guy, look at that idiot, there's no left turn. Let's see, GVMA819 is the license plate. We got a riding on the sidewalk, but they're returning there. Still, you can ride on the road until you reach it. Alright, let's see the protected permissive left turn come on from this angle before, in a zoomed in angle, before I head on south. Five-second all red. So yeah, like I was saying, there's a leading pedestrian interval for northbound and southbound. There's 4 no left turn signs for northbound and southbound. There's a dedicated right turn lane for northbound. For southbound, there's a dedicated streetcar right turn lane. I really think they should be leading through intervals here, but as I was saying that, I got interrupted by someone illegally turning left. I don't usually even see that happen here. The chances of seeing that are very unlikely given that I'm live streaming here. So now we're on Eastern Avenue. Looks like northbound could use a right turn overlap. I 100% agree. In fact, what they could do is, from this angle, northbound has 4 traffic signal heads. They could convert the existing secondary 3-section and the primary 3-section held on the plumb visor could convert the green ball to a straight through arrow, and then they can convert the 2 3-sections held on a mounting bracket as a 4-section right turn overlap, and that could turn green 5 seconds later and have the green through arrow turn on right away. That would be a good video to make, actually. Except for those of you who don't know, for animated traffic signal phasing videos, I'm kind of holding off on that, meaning that I'm not stopping, but I'm slowing down with it because I'm trying to help lots of transportation jobs nowadays because they've been opening a lot more. So I've been focusing on trying to find work in my field of study to get out of Toronto. Could be a good spot for right turn flashing yellow arrows, albeit with a red ball since right turn on red is allowed. Yeah, that would. A red arrow, a solid yellow arrow, a flashing yellow arrow, and a green arrow. I use balls from animation for like traffic color ball indications, like red ball, yellow ball, green ball, right turn arrow, until flashing yellow arrows are allowed. So these signals here just went back to walk, so we'll be continuing that way. They have leading pedestrian intervals for all directions here at this intersection. Hey, did they put a new Econoline Durlight 4-section as the secondary signal here? That wasn't here last time I was here. I travel through this intersection a lot, by the way, and this is the first time I see that it looks like there's an Econoline Durlight 4-section. So just gotta wait for it to be clear. He's not turning, we're good to go. So they didn't make any changes to signal phasing here yet. So they don't have any LPIs yet here, but they're probably going to sooner or later. As for Eastern Avenue, eastbound and westbound have a protected permissive left turn installed. There are no dedicated turn lanes. If you're looking to see the westbound's green arrow come on, it's only active from 6:30 to 9:30 weekday mornings. And for eastbound, it's only active from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. weekdays. Otherwise, nobody gets a green arrow. Unless they made changes last time that I don't know of, which I doubt very much. Yeah, so there's no arrow. I wish it came on because there's all these drivers turning left. I'd rather wait for finish turning, actually. then just at the next curve, there will be some more new mid-block pedestrian signals will be coming too. So over here, there's some mid-block pedestrian signals. They were also new a few months ago. Just like the intersection pedestrian signals on Kingston Road, the cycle length is half the cycle length of all the other intersections nearby. So on weekends, the cycle length is 84 seconds. So the cycle length here is 42 seconds. Again, I'm going to stay on this side for now. Here's another angle. There's anyone that's gonna... Actually, that person might be wanting to cross. Let's see, is he gonna cross? No, but okay, so we have a pedestrian call. We'll get to see these signals active. On weekends, the maximum time you'll have to wait is 42 seconds. You'll be waiting anytime between 0 and 42 seconds, depending on what time the cycle length you arrived at. Now there's no point in the signals changing because they already crossed. Actually, maybe that person will. Let's see. I guess he doesn't want to cross either. I don't know if it's possible, but one thing I always wanted Toronto to implement is a way to undo a pedestrian call where if someone pushes the button and then already crosses, or if someone pushes the button and then there's no one crossing, then if there's a way that they could undo or unpush the button or something. I don't think that's possible, but it would be nice if that would be. Anyway, I'm going to continue walking this way now. Nova Bus, 31 Greenwood. I like the guardrail they have here to prevent, well, not prevent, but mid-block crossing. Alright, so next up is Woodfield and Eastern Avenue. So there's leading pedestrian intervals in all directions. Northbound and southbound have a leading bicycle interval. Westbound has a dedicated right turn lane and a shared through and left. Eastbound has 2 lanes, shared through and turns. Again, they should have a leading through interval given the very low volume of people that turn here. This guy's not turning, he's just changing lanes. I am going to stay here for I might stay here for one cycle just to see the leading bicycle interval come on. I don't know yet. I would like the countdown to start. I mean, who am I kidding? There's some traffic coming. Why do I say that? Oh, here's someone turning right. Leading through intervals could be used here, though. Actually, he's using the right turn lane to go straight. Is he? Or is he using the buffer zone to park? We'll have to see. So there's the leading bicycle interval over here, too. And now I'm going to head on to the next intersection. The next intersection is Eastern Avenue and Knox. The first intersection where Toronto actually has all 12-inch bicycle signals, which were unveiled a couple months ago. Or maybe a little more than that. Alright, so now we're coming to Toronto's first all 12-inch bicycle signal heads. It operates a semi-actuated pedestrian. There's a leading bicycle pedestrian interval installed for all directions, really. I support it for northbound only, though, since northbound is the only direction that doesn't have through movements permitted. much louder than I thought. Good way to wake up drivers who are distracted. So yeah, this is the eastbound angle. We have all 12-inch bicycle signals here. And southbound has dedicated bicycle signals. So here, from this angle, cyclists who are going northbound actually get 2 sets of bicycle signals. Because the bidirectional bikeway changes to unidirectional at the north leg, bicycles have to turn right and then continue straight. So over here, you'll see that there's green arrow for bicycles to go right, which is also the same for those here. And then there's through for northbound. By the way, the northbound left turn green arrow, I've actually never seen it on before. The only time you'll see it on, it's actually, there is a manual fire hall preemption, which it doesn't come on generally. The only time you'll see that northbound green arrow on is if the fire hall just behind me receives a call and they send out a fire truck in that direction. I've never seen the arrow come on here before, but I've always been curious to see what happens when it does. Like, do the bicycle signals turn green? Because I know that manual fire hall preemptions, there's a hand signal on both sides in all 4 crosswalks. So I'm curious how that would operate, because I have yet to see it happen. So I'm gonna continue westbound now. There were a few intersections where I've seen a manual fire hall preemption on before, though. The 5 bike signals for 1 movement seems way overkill. I'd remove the one the overhead near side bike signals and one of the eastbounds. You mean the bicycle signal for that, one of the bicycle signals that does the green arrow, right? And this one here I'm looking at, one of them. So there's the leading bicycle interval. Same for southbound. You can't really see it that well from this angle. I don't like how they made the white, the center line white. It should be a yellow for the bikeway. It's been happening a lot these days, and I don't know what's been going on with that. Yeah, there's 3. Yeah, they need to, I don't know, probably, yeah. So these 3 bicycle signals are times with those 2 for the leading bicycle interval, at least. But again, I only think northbound should have a leading pedestrian bicycle interval. Again, I wish to see the left arrow one, because I've never seen how it operates before. You need to get really, really lucky to see that, though, because you have to be here when they send out a fire truck from the fire hall. I've seen a few manual fire hall preemptions on before. Not that many, though. They have one at Woodbine and Queen, and I've seen it come on before, where first it does a red ball with the left arrow, then it terminates like a 6 seconds advanced green, then it turns a green ball with the left arrow for like 30 seconds. And they have a hand signal on all 4 crosswalks during that time. And I don't know if it does, I don't know what direction goes after that, though. I've also seen the manual fire hall preemption come on at Cusburn at Donlands, where when that terminates, it actually does a yellow light and an orange arrow at the same time. And where else? Kiel and Lawrence eastbound, I've seen that one on before. I got really lucky that time, though, because I was driving eastbound and I just happens to get that green arrow going straight, and then it turns yellow after instead of an orange arrow. There's a lot of manual fire hall preemptions I have yet to see. There's actually one on Adelaide Street that I've seen before. Yes, I know Adelaide Street has all these fully protected left turns. They actually have a 4th section that's protected permissive. It does a delayed walk on both sides of the crosswalk, and it does a protected permissive left turn, except there are no bicycle signals that stay red. But again, the only time you'll ever see that come on is if they need to send out a fire truck from the fire hall just a few meters behind that. So generally you won't see it come on. You have to get really lucky. And a lot of firefighters don't actually know that they even have a preemption to push. Because that's what they told me when I asked them if they have a preemption. Warden Avenue and Comstock, I've seen it on once in June 2012, northbound. Otherwise, you'll never see that arrow on. If anyone else knows about any manual fire hall preemptions in the city of Toronto, I'd like to hear, because there could be some that I may not know about. Oh yeah, and Murray Ross Parkway and Keele, I've seen that one on before, northbound. I'm trying to think of anything else I've seen active for a manual preemption. Unfortunately, they can't really install automatic fire truck preemptions at every intersection because, and even firefighters told me this, it's going to be crazy expensive, and in order for that to be feasible, it would require a huge capital investments by all three government levels, municipal, provincial, and probably federal as well. Hello, Francis Thomas. So now we're at Eastern Avenue and Leslie Street. I'm under the account of you. I didn't know that. I gotta remember that in the future. So over at this intersection, northbound and southbound has a leading pedestrian interval. Westbound does have a protected permissive left turn installed, but the only time you'll ever see it active is from 6:30 to 9:30 weekday mornings, because it's only active during the morning rush hour period. There's nobody in the left turn lane. Look at this distracted driver. He's not turning left. And then over at the next intersection south from here, they put a leading pedestrian interval for northbound and southbound. And what pisses me off about that is that they made the protected permissive left turn have the red ball display when it comes on, even if because there's no center left turn lane, through traffic will be blocking left turns. So that was very, very recent. So I'm probably going to submit a 3-on-1 report about that very soon. But I'm going to be continuing westbound and eastern. Just going to check how much battery I've left on my phone. 66%. My phone was at 94% when I started live streaming at Kingston Road and Elmer Avenue. I just passed Leslie Street and I'm at 66%. I might have to get my spare battery out very soon. Yes, you heard that correctly, spare battery. I don't change the battery. It's sort of like a device, but it transfers battery juice from itself to my phone. I always bring one of those since I videotape signal timing a lot. Now, for a while, I always thought they should have traffic signals over here at this intersection, because there's a lot of people that come in and out of the parking lots over there. Mosley Street. Some people turn right, but a lot of people turn left. Then the visibility to see cross traffic with the curve can be a challenge. So I'm just going to wait for everyone else to go. Okay, it's clear for them to go. It's clear for you to go. I'm giving her a signal that it's clear. He's turning right, you're good to go. Which way is he going, right or left? I think he's going left. After this Mazda, he'll get to go. All right. Clear there. It's all clear, we're good to go. So now we're coming to Larchmont. The only signalized intersection in Toronto that has an exclusive pedestrian phase as well as a pedestrian walk signal when it's green for Eastern. I'm not going to be crossing here though because there's nobody else on this sidewalk here and there's a few other people on the other side. By the way, has my live stream connection been good, or has it been lagging or really pixelated? YouTube hasn't been telling me that it's reconnecting or something, but I just want to make sure that the live stream connection is good and the video quality is good. Again, I really don't know how to increase the video quality. It has been good. Okay, good. I'm hoping it's just as good as what it's showing me on my screen. I actually got rid of all social media except YouTube a couple years ago. So YouTube is the only thing I post nowadays on. But I used to have social media like Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. I got rid of all that because it's not good for my mental health to stay on there. YouTube I only have because it has better kind of traditional, not as modern videos on there. And I also post career-related stuff on there too. I also got rid of LinkedIn a little, but I was forced by my dad to reinstate it because he's worried I'm going to be unemployable otherwise. But yeah, except for YouTube, I do not advocate for social media, if you want my honest opinion. I'm trying to get my dad off Facebook as well, but it's up to him. If I were to create my own websites where I post traffic signal related stuff and problems and solutions, that's different as well. The reason I'm not doing that right now, though, is because I just don't have the money to pay for making my own website right now. Which there's no rush for me to do that either, so it's all good. In fact, my biggest goal right now is to move out of Toronto, so if I move out of Toronto, I might not even be posting much Toronto content. I've been applying to a bunch of jobs outside the Greater Toronto area, though. First one I didn't get because there's so much job demand right now. I recently had an interview for another one, and then there's a couple more that I'm going to be applying to this week that just opened. They're all within my field of study. And now we're at Carlaw Avenue and Eastern Avenue. Northbound and southbound have a leading pedestrian interval. Again, I really think it should be leading through based on the volume of through traffic, especially TTC bus service would probably appreciate that as well. Southbound, there's a no left turn from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. weekday mornings except for TTC vehicles. And then westbound has a leading protected permissive left turn. It's active at all times except during rush hour. Normally it's active, well yeah, I don't know if it comes on as fixed time, but I'm glad to see it active. Most intersections, normally in Toronto, they would have left turn facing protected permissive active the most during rush hour only. This one's the opposite, where it's active at all times except rush hour. So today's Sunday, so it's active all day today. Also, daylight savings has returned, so now it's going to be darker in the morning, and it means we'll have a later sunset at least. I like later sunsets. So the pedestrian crossover here does not comply with the Ontario traffic manual of its location. It's all within 100 meters on both sides from the traffic signals. And knowing that the traffic signals here are synchronized, yes, they change simultaneously, generally, well, at least the next one and the one after. They're coordinated or synchronized. And if there's someone wanting to cross here when all the lights are green, it's going to cause drivers here to miss the green light. I requested that they replace this pedestrian crossover with a traffic signal. They say they don't support a new traffic signal here, and yet they put a new traffic signal 2 blocks right there where the second traffic signal is. So I'm not quite sure how they decided that. But now we're coming to Eastern Avenue and Logan Avenue. So there's leading pedestrian intervals for northbound and southbound. Bicycles don't get to go, sadly. Northbound should really have a leading bicycle interval, in my opinion. Southbound, I think it should be leading through, connecting again. Installed, but it's only and these are the new signals that were installed just a few months ago. Booth Avenue and Eastern Avenue. Last time, well, of course, when they install new signals, they always put a leading pedestrian interval for every direction, which I don't like because they should be reviewing each intersection first. Especially that most people don't turn here and that there's no right turn for westbound, no left turn for eastbound. Northbound and southbound has one though, which I support the leading pedestrian interval for northbound only. It extends 1 second. We're gonna get the... Oh, they removed the leading pedestrian interval for westbound. Awesome. Because last time I was here, there was a leading pedestrian interval for eastbound and westbound here, but they actually removed it. I'm actually very surprised, but I'm pleased too about that. I mean, clearly it's not needed, because like almost everyone goes straight. I'm actually going to go down Booth Avenue here because at Lakeshore Boulevard, Greenlight Green Arrow Studios was informing me that the new permanent traffic signals are actually being installed. They're not active right now, but they're bagged. I think, is there a detector here? So I think that the signals are simultaneously synchronized with the signals at Logan Avenue, where generally the signals would be semi-actuated, but if there's a vehicle or pedestrian call at any of these two intersections, then it turns both red and does the same thing. Because they're synchronized, they're simultaneous. So let's see that green come on. Actually, you know what? I think I know why they removed the leading pedestrian interval here, looking at this again. Because the signalized intersection at Logan Avenue, I think if there's no programmable visibility, then they have to change simultaneously so that distracted drivers aren't looking at the second light. That would make sense, actually. That's probably why they removed the LPI here for Booth Avenue, because they never put one for the signals where the 4 section is at Logan. So I'm going to be going down Booth Avenue now to check on the new traffic signals that are being installed over there at Lakeshore. I can see from here that they have at least 2 traffic signals bagged. So I'm going to get a closer look at that. Greenlight Green Arrow Studios was there Tuesday last week, and he informs me that they're starting to put the new signals, and from what he told me, he sent me a couple of pictures, and that it looks like that they're going to be putting eastbound fully protected left turn signal heads, which is what I was hoping they'd do. So I'm going to check those out, and then if there's any sign of permanent signals at Carlaw or at Don Roadway, then I'll check those out too. Again, not expecting anything to be active, but we might get to see a sign of how the signal timing could be. And it says there, has my connection been off? It says nobody's been on there for a while. I don't know if it's because my connection is slowing down or not, though. I'm at 57% battery. So for those of you who are just started watching this live stream, I started at Kingston Road and Elmer Avenue, walked westbound along Kingston Road, where it becomes Eastern Avenue, continued there, it's a Booth. Now I'm on Booth Avenue, walking down from Eastern to check on the new permanent traffic signals that are installed, or being installed. There were no westbound and southbound signals when Green Arrow Studios was there, but we're gonna take a look because I'm seeing signals for all directions. I love windy days. Alright, so it doesn't look like they put all the pedestrian signals up yet. But I am seeing some bicycle signals on the east leg. Sidewalk is closed, but I'm not crossing. I'm just going to be checking the signals, and then I'll be going back. Because there's no pedestrian access to go east or west from here yet, by the way. Alright, so here we have some bicycle signals. Well, one at least. Looks like there will be protected intersection elements over here. And westbound looks like they'll just be getting permissive green, 3-section. Northbound and southbound looks like it'll be getting the same too. Eastbound's probably gonna have fully protected left turn signals. It looks like there's gonna be a crosswalk at all 3 legs. I'm hoping that they put a callable leading pedestrian bicycle interval for southbound only, Booth Avenue, but I don't want them to put a leading pedestrian interval for Lakeshore eastbound or westbound. Eastbound shouldn't have one because it's a T intersection and left turns are fully protected. Westbound, I'm not sure, but I don't want them to put one there. For Lakeshore and Carla, I don't see any sign of permanent signals yet. They're just still on temporary wires. And then over at Dawn Roadway, I don't see any permanent signal signs either yet. I think it's just here where they're putting permanent signals. But yeah, they still have some more signals to put. Obviously, they still need to put the pedestrian bicycle signals at this lake, at the west side. Alright, now we're going to be going back up. not sure how far I'm going to be going yet on the live stream here. I'm definitely planning to go quite a bit further, though, unless something happens or if something occurs that I need to go or home for, but nothing right now. Phone's 54%. It's 4:42 p.m. So now we're going back up Booth Avenue. I'm going to be going back to Eastern and continue west from there. Maybe we can check the construction progress for the Ontario subway line elevation just further left there. So this is part of the new overpass for the Ontario subway line. It'll be right beside the GO train as well. So now we're at Broadview Avenue and Eastern Avenue. And over here you'll see they put a new arch bridge here. That's going to be for the Ontario subway line. This intersection operates as semi-actuated. They do have a leading pedestrian interval for all directions, but the northbound and southbound one is callable because it's semi-actuated here. Eastbound has the leading protected permissive left turn, green arrow installed. And it's on right now, actually. It's Econolite Duralite. And if the eastbound left turn phase come on, then the LPI does not come on for westbound. It omits it. Soon they're going to be extending Broadview Avenue south to Lakeshore. It's going to be several years before that opens, though, for sure. It'll be nice to see, though. So I'm standing here because I want to get a better angle of the Econolite Duralite left arrow. It's supposed to be callable and extendable. But right now it's actually coming on its fixed time. This is good for left turns. And westbound through traffic as well. So I'm actually going to be crossing Eastern. I'm going to be going north now because I'm going to be going north to Queen Street because they're redoing Eastern Avenue, so there's no pedestrian access. They're going to be building a new multi-use trail on the south side, so once that's open, we'll be able to cross over the DVP overpass there. But until then, we'll have to go 1 block north to Queen Street. Well, I think that's as far on Eastern Avenue we're going to be going, but I'm not stopping the stream yet. I'm going to continue westbound on a different route since there's no access to go over the DVP due to construction. And then before I continue up, I'm just going to get a quick angle of the Fortran signal head doing its protected permissive left turn. And then we'll be headed to Queen Street. The Fortran green arrow was pixelated too. Nice and brighter, I love that. No LPI for westbound because the eastbound leading left is on. Alright, now let's continue northbound. I'm gonna get to the other side. There's too many people on that side. You got dumbbells. So westbound is closed at Queen Street here. That's why you weren't seeing any. That's why you were seeing replacement buses on the 503 Kingston Road routes, because 503 streetcars are being diverted. Or no, 503 streetcars are not running at all, actually. 501's being diverted up Broadview Avenue, and southbound recently got a new temporary protected permissive left-turn phase. I think it's only active if there's a streetcar turning left, though. Yeah, no, it didn't come on. But they removed the leading pedestrian interval, though, at least. So this is temporary, though, probably just because the temporary protected permissive left-turn green arrow. We have a slow driver over there. Look how slow that driver's going. It's ridiculous. Especially if the light's green, you know? You'll be seeing a lot of slow drivers on my driving in Toronto versus stupidity videos, by the way. In which it's also now my driving in Toronto versus stupidity videos are now age restricted, by the way, which means you'll need to sign in to confirm your age for it to get access to watching my driving in Toronto versus stupidity videos, which is now 18 plus. You got room to turn, you're good. So we're going to be walking over the Don Valley on Queen Street, and then I'm going to be heading back south after. It looks like the pedestrian crossover is actually out of service, meaning pedestrians can't cross. That's just for construction, though. Of course, this is good for traffic flow, because I'm sure drivers and TTC service appreciates not having to stop. I would too. So yeah, pedestrians can't cross here. They should bag the pedestrian crossover lights if it's out of service due to construction. So yeah, there won't be any TTC streetcars going around here anytime soon. They're being diverted up Broadview, and then they'll be going along Dundas Street. So this is the construction progress they're doing on Eastern Avenue. That's why we're on here. Nova bus, the 504D King Street replacement bus. So I'm going to be going left down River Street. So now we're going under the Eastern Avenue overpass that they're reconstructing. It sounds like my horn. They're building a new connection to the motifs for Liverpool. That's good. So we're coming to Bayview Avenue now. Each of these two side streets are one-way pairs except for cyclists. We have a contraflow bike lane here and a unidirectional bike lane on the other side. And over here, only cyclists are allowed to turn left and motor vehicles have to turn right, like this guy. And over here, there's no turns allowed at this intersection map for motor vehicles. Only bicycles can turn right. And then at this intersection, motor vehicles for northbound have to turn left, southbound's through and right. There's no eastbound incoming motor vehicles. I don't know if cyclists are allowed. It doesn't actually say anything about cyclists. If there's no bike lane, then what's the point of having those eastbound signals here? Maybe they're planning to put bike lanes in the future or something. There's actually a lot of people turning right here. I'm actually surprised. I thought most people here go straight. Well, northbound has to turn left because over here it's a one-way south. Now we're coming to Front Street. A few years ago, I made a video about this intersection actually, based on the low volume of vehicle pedestrian traffic. I think they should make these traffic signals fully actuated. There used to be a stop sign here, but about a little less than a decade ago, they added traffic signals here. So right now these signals operate as semi-actuated. Soon they'll be adding a bicycle multi-use trail connection from here to Lakeshore Boulevard and Don Roadway. Now, here's something that I just don't get. I know that they have parking over there, but they have room to maintain it there, but they didn't maintain it. So like, for example, on the other side, they have parking and pick up and drop off that's allowed, but they could have maintained pick up and drop off here too, which they didn't. I know it's a one-way street, but they could have made the bidirectional bikeway curve over in here, and then they could have also added parking, pick up and drop off right here. Toronto just seems to want to outlaw pick up and drop off on most roads, which I get if there's no room, but if they have room while maintaining bike lanes, then they should. Because that's how people end up illegally blocking traffic in no stopping zones, or bike lanes in no stopping zones. Sidewalk closed. We're gonna have to cross here then. Oh well. Wait for letting this guy go. I'll wait for this guy to go too. I'm giving him signal to go, by the way. They're not failing to yield, by the way, because I'm telling them to go. So this is where Bayview Avenue ends, and this is where Mill Street begins. Phone battery's at 36%. So is this guy going straight or turning right? He's going straight. Good. So from here, Mill Street is a two-way until Cherry Street. So when we get to these lights up ahead at Cherry Street and Mill Street, I'm going to be stopping for a couple minutes, not stopping the stream, but I'm going to be getting my phone plug charger out and spare battery. So stay with me. We have leading left turns fully protected for westbound and southbound. I'm going to be probably sitting on those rocks actually while I get my spare battery charger out. Don't worry, I'm not ending the stream. I'm just going to be getting my phone battery charger out. In the meantime, you can enjoy this sort of time lapse of signal phasing. No call from the left turn lane, so the left turn doesn't come up. At the next intersection north, which I'm looking at right now, they have leading fully protected right turns. I'm not at it, but I'm just looking at it right now from the north angle. It looks like it's extendable as well now, which I don't know how they determined that. Right, so my phone charger is coming in. Alright, I'm just plugging in my phone, taking off my phone case. Can't really hold my phone with its case now though. I mean, can't really have it set up. Can't hold itself. So we have leading left turns for westbound. This one isn't extendable, but it's callable. And that's the last driver to go. Drivers and pedestrians respect the leading left. That's good. So I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm just trying to deal with my backpack while I zip it up. Hold my phone. I'm gonna see if I can have my phone lean on here. My phone no longer has its case on, so it can't hold itself up now. This time we'll see the left turn come on for southbound, since there's a left turn call. By the way, my phone's leaning on my water bottle. Hopefully the wind doesn't blow it over. Right, just checking my phone battery. It's charging good, 34%. Don't worry, guys. I'm just taking a bit of a small break here, like a water break. There's the leading left turn there. I love it. And everyone makes it. That blue Toyota is the last one to turn. Road user behavior is really well at this intersection. Pedestrians respect the light, drivers respect the light, especially the leading left turns. Alright, so now I'm ready to continue. I'm gonna hit the next light. I'm gonna be crossing south though. I'll be continuing on Mill Street until we get to Parliament. There's a left turn call, so we'll get to see the pedestrians and oncoming traffic are waiting for you. Car in the left turn lane, so we'll get to see the leading left turn face come on one more time before we cross. Driver is not supposed to be stopped there. That black Toyota is in a no stopping zone. But again, if they use that curb space where the bikes are for parking, he wouldn't be blocking the through lane. So we have another left turn call. Alright, now we'll be going over to Parliament Street. It's letting me go. Thank you. Oh wait, he's not turning. So there's a leading left turn again over there. Oh, wait a minute, the light, oh, I was gonna say, is the pedestrian bicycle phase gonna get skipped? Because I saw the pedestrian countdown starting during the leading left turn phase, but it actually just terminates early now. That's good for right turns. So I'm gonna go left here, but first I'm gonna quickly watch this next leading left turn phase here. See, road users are respectful with the leading left turns. Drivers comply with the leading left, pedestrians comply with their hand signal. That's my typical experience with delayed walks and leading left or right turns in Toronto. Now, over there, I'm actually going to continue straight down Parliament to Lakeshore. Looks like the sidewalk is closed. Oh well, I can walk back to Mill Street. So I'm gonna take the next light to cross Parliament Street. Assuming there will be a left turn call, I'll be there more than in time. Yeah, there's a left turn call. Good. Turn call, good. Pedestrians respects the hand signal during the leading left. It's good. Again. And that's everyone turning. So, coming up is Lakeshore Boulevard. I'm going to be walking along Queens Quay East. Over here, this intersection operates as a split phasing. So when eastbound gets their split phase, pedestrians get to cross this half here. So I'll watch out for drivers making U-turns here because I don't think it's prohibited to do that. The eastbound signals have loopers. It says sidewalk's closed, so we're gonna have to go across to this leg. Well, we'll get to watch another cycle of split phasing then, at least. By the way, when the light comes down, the walk signal at this southwest leg stays on for the westbound split phase. So westbound will get their green light and green arrow. Then eastbound will go next after. And northbound has a right turn overlap as well. The walk signal was a little longer than I thought for westbound. I mean, westbound needs it, so at least westbound traffic benefits off of that. So now eastbound will be next. The all-red intervals used to be 2 seconds. They increased it to like 6 seconds, which was a mistake, in my opinion. So eastbound doesn't get as much green time as westbound from what it looks like. The westbound split phase is longer than eastbound. There's the Queens Quay East Nova bus, 114.
114 Queens Quay East, eastbound towards Carlaw. Nearly Cleveland
So they're going to be extending Queens Quay East further all the way to at least Cherry Street. They finished the first stage, which is draining a small portion of Lake Ontario. They've done that now, so they're working on some dirt road soil work or something. I don't know when the extension is going to open, but it'll be nice once it does. Here, the sidewalk and bicycle trail switches spots. They cross over each other like an X. So we'll have to cross here and then utilize the sidewalk that continues here. Someone's turning left, so I see, and I'll wait for them to turn. No, oncoming traffic. Looks like the bike lane is closed. That's disappointing. They still didn't put a leading bicycle interval with that leading pedestrian interval. I'm hoping they'll move it when they extend the streetcars here, because then there will be fully protected turns. The bike path's over there. That's okay. Let's see what he does. Maybe he's waiting for... Nope, he's going on there. Yeah, they kind of switched spots a couple times. where the sidewalk and bike positions are. Looks like you didn't actually know about that. They added new bus lanes too, which is good. They did it in a way where they didn't take lanes away from vehicles. Now we're at Queens Quay and Lower Jarvis Street. Eastbound has a leading protected permissive left turn that comes on at all times. It's fixed time every cycle. It's good to see joggers not using the bike lane for most part. I usually see them use the bike lane. Well, if there's no room to pass and there's no bikes, then that's fine too. As long as they don't cut off any bicycles. haven't been on Queens Quay for a while. It's good to be on a different route for a change.
Грибами за
Flashing hands on, better not start. Right as I reach the intersection, the flashing hand starts. That's okay, I can wait for the next light. Wait, there might not be a vehicle call. Is there a call? There's a pedestrian call there. I can wait. Except that leading pedestrian interval encourages bicycles to zoom across on red. I'll wait for my light before crossing, as I always do when I'm a pedestrian. All directions have a leading pedestrian interval here. Eastbound and westbound have a leading bicycle interval. Street in Queens Quay. All directions have a leading pedestrian interval here. Northbound and southbound have leading bicycle intervals. I think we're at Young Street now. I think I'm gonna think about ending the stream soon. Not yet, but like, I'm probably not gonna be streaming for that much farther though. Part of Lake Ontario is still frozen. There's been a lot of people walking on Lake Ontario when it's frozen, and police are warning people not to do that because it's pretty dangerous, especially when the ice levels are uneven and unpredictable. So now we're coming to Queens Quay and Bay Street. except for northbound, there's a protected permissive left turn green arrow installed for each direction except for northbound. Westbound has a right turn overlap for the southbound's protected permissive left turn. I'll be taking the next light. I always turn on the audio when I cross just because I like it. So the leading southbound protected permissive left turn comes on, and we get to see the westbound's right turn overlap. As you can see, road users respect the leading left turn. Pedestrians and drivers obey their signals, they properly yield. And that's it's hard to see from this angle, but the westbound's 4-section green arrow is pixelated. There's nobody in the left turn lane, so I don't think we're going to see it come on this cycle. Assuming it's callable. Eastbound gets the green arrow this time. What's this driver doing on the bike lane? The driving lane is right on your left. CAJA969 is the license plate of that driver. Yeah, the driving lane is right there. This is the bike lane. The driver was one lane too far south. There's leading fully protected left turns for northbound and westbound. Westbound has a leading protected permissive left turn. So at this intersection, there's leading right turns that are fully protected at this intersection. It is callable, but not extendable. There's the leading right turn. The opposite direction has it. That driver seems to be distracted or something. Now it's our turn. The streetcar wasn't ready yet either, so it's a good thing they didn't put phase rotation here. Because this door was open until its light was supposed to turn green. What time is it? 5:58. I think I'm going to wrap up the stream very soon. I'm gonna go one more intersection to Lower Simcoe and Queens Quay, and then I'm gonna turn around, head over to Tim Hortons at York Street and Harbor Street. Maybe watch that long leading left turn protected permissive that they recently increased to 63 seconds, and I'm gonna probably end the stream there. So for signal facing here, there's a leading pedestrian interval for northbound and southbound. Eastbound has a protected permissive leading left turn, and westbound has a fully protected leading left turn installed. Those two cars are not going to trigger it in time though, so we won't get to see it come on this cycle. Or maybe we will. Okay, good, so eastbound actually got the protected permissive left turn. That's good. The westbound fully protected left turns are callable as well, but I'm not really going to bother waiting for a cycle when that happens, because it's getting a little late and I don't want to go to bed too late because it's going to be dark in the morning now and I have to get up early to drive Greenlight Green Arrow Studios for work, which I usually have to get up no later than 5:45 in the morning. Plus I have a few things I have to do at home first. So I'm gonna turn around here. I'm gonna see if we're lucky enough to get a video of the leading right turn coming on from this angle. Then I'm gonna end it at York Street and Harbor Street. I'm gonna take the next lights because actually the streetcar might be extending the walk. We'll have to see. The countdown here is low, it's not that high. Yeah, I think it's 7. Well, we'll get to see the leading right turns come on at least. I mean, if there's no vehicle call over there, then it doesn't make sense to have the bicycle signal red or pedestrian hand on. So I totally get why pedestrians are crossing on red, because there's no vehicles. Except when the leading right turns come on, that's going to be the only challenge if everyone's crossing on red due to no vehicles present. But let's see it come on. There's the leading right turns. Fully protected. Now it's our turn. I'm actually amazed. Pedestrians and cyclists actually stopped when the leading right turn came on before the driver started moving. Again, Our usual good experience with leading right turns. Road users are more compliant, including pedestrians and drivers, especially when they're fully protected. Alright, so I'm going to be crossing north up York Street to Harbour. Is there a left turn call? Nope. The walk signal turns on immediately then. I'll be taking the next light. It's mixed use here, so I guess when it's not my light, I guess I wait here. The countdown on the east leg is still finishing up. So now the countdown on the right finishes. So now westbound will get the leading fully protected left turn. Actually, he's not turning. The fourth section here is Econoline Duralite, as well as the northbound's primary through signal. I think the secondary, auxiliary, I guess, left turn signal head is also Econoline Duralite. Looks like we're not going to be having a northbound left turn call, so we won't get to see the fully protected left turns come on for northbound. Oh, the left turns actually do come on. No left turn call, but maybe the signals want us to see the left turns come on. I mean, I'm fine that people cross on red right now because they look before crossing. There's no left turns. It's clearly safe, so that's different. But they look before crossing and doing that. Well, for the sake of seeing the signal phasing, that was just good luck for us to see the left turns come on. So I'm going to be crossing again Harbour Street, then I'm going to be ending the stream at the northwest leg. So at this intersection, the eastbound leading left has been, the maximum time has been increased to 63 seconds. It's callable and extendable. There it is. The eastbound leading left, 63 seconds maximum. It's a delayed walk because it's a one-way street on the left side. The maximum green interval time is 63 seconds. Someone left a gap of 3 seconds, so that means the green arrow is going to terminate early. I don't see any pedestrians crossing. Now there's someone crossing. And actually, that's everyone that turns left. And over at the next intersection at Bay Street, they also have a delayed walk via leading left turn on the left side. The maximum time for that green left turn phase is 70 seconds. 70, not 17. But I think it's only 70 seconds during rush hour, but I think it's 30 seconds at other times. Over here at York Street, the maximum time for the left turns eastbound is 63 seconds. And that's maximum time like that goes at all times, whether it's rush hour, midday, weekdays, all time on weekends, etc. Still lots of weaving though, but leading up definitely helps alleviate congestion here. Southbound has a leading protected progressive left turn as well. It's callable and extendable. It's on right now, actually. Except the driver first in line is not paying attention to it. He's not paying attention to the protected permissive left turn. That's everyone turning left. The countdown on the left is still finishing up. Okay, now we're going to get to see the eastbound on the left. The one on Bay Street's on right now, and the one at York Street is on. The maximum green arrow time is 63 seconds at all times. Let's hope nobody leaves a gap of 3 seconds, because that's going to make it terminate early. Someone left a gap of 3 seconds because someone's moving out of the left turn lane. So now it's going to terminate. And that's everyone. Actually, no, there's more people turning left, but they properly yield here, which is good. Alright, so that's going to be it for the live stream here. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, whoever came in to watch. I'm going to be ending the stream here now, so I gotta get on soon. I'm going to be grabbing myself something that's important, and then I'll be heading back home. But thank you for watching.